All right, guys, so we're in the middle of You Do You, our series on our core values, mission statement, things of that nature, to explain who we are, why we do what we do, what's important to us. Simplicity kind of helped explain it, that we want to be excellent at a few things. We don't want to consider everything important, because if everything's important, then nothing is important. So to keep a simplistic, streamlined approach, and so there's that. So there's two things that I want to do today. With that, I'm going to invite you guys to start praying about something. And this is strictly for the leadership. This is not to be out there this is not to be out there in the public. So I'm trusting you guys as leaders, and I'm just going to go for it. We are actively looking at property. There is really no major leads. We are looking at one property, but it's on the smaller side. It would force us to be incredibly unique. And so as we're looking at properties, and again, this is nothing that's going to happen real fast. I am not going to do anything without fasting. I'm not going to do anything without prayer. I'm not going to do anything without the collective wisdom of the saints. But I'm inviting you guys to continue praying about it. And so as we look at these properties, one of the things that we're looking at is, will this change us? Will this cause us to deviate from our core values? Will this cause us to deviate from our mission? Or will it help us to advance the mission, advance our core values, things of that nature? And so that's why this series is so important. Like, this is who we are. This is in the fabric of who we are. And these are the six principles that maybe won't be true of every single church, that will be true of us. And so, like every church, the Word of God is important. Like every church, prayer is important. Those are things that should go without saying. And so, when we value endless growth, which we've already talked about, what goes with valuing endless growth is valuing the Bible and valuing prayer. So, I'm getting off track. I'm asking you guys to pray about the direction of our church, to pray for wisdom and discernment. I plead, as leaders, you need to be praying for us and praying for the decisions that are being made. And soon you'll probably be invited into that process in a larger way. But anyways, this week what we're looking at, we're going to look at the woman at the well. In John chapter 4, Jesus is traveling around. He actually uses, I think, the word necessary. I have to go back and look at it. But Jesus needed to do something. He needed to travel through Samaria. It was important for him to travel through Samaria. And he had the foresight to know, I'm going to meet a woman. I have to meet with this woman. And so meeting with a woman, really uncommon. Meeting with a Samaritan, really uncommon. And so it's a whole passage when Jesus valued uncommon relationships. What came of it was Jesus being made famous, being made known in this community, because he was able to develop this really quick relationship with this woman at the well. And so this week we value uncommon relationships. So what would that look like in the context of Wellspring? I love that some of our life groups have a huge age range, young and old, middle, everything in between, like all of it. That we are a church that doesn't say, like, we're only going to reach young people. Some of that might naturally happen, but that doesn't mean that we're intentionally just reaching a certain demographic. There is so much value in experience, and I love how I've mentioned this, how Laura Milan and I have had these conversations where she says she's learning so much from an Amanda Earl and from Quinn and from Courtney and all these various people. So we value uncommon relationships. I have two kind of discipleship, kind of really cool relationships that I have. I'm bringing Jameer to church, Jameer Burgos, who's a young black 12-year-old, and I meet pretty regularly with Depreem, who's a black young man. And it's sad that's an uncommon relationship in our society. That shouldn't be uncommon, but if we're going to call an ace an ace, it's too uncommon. And so we as a church, we're going to value uncommon relationships. One of the main point that I'm going to say this week in the sermon is that the gospel demands uncommon relationships. If we believe in the gospel, but we believe in a gospel that's only for certain people, then we're fools. The gospel, this carries over, it's very closely related to our cousin, the all-inclusive gospel message, where we believe that Jesus is for everybody. So if we believe in the true nature of the gospel message, then we better embrace uncommon relationships. And so uncommon relationships help give us that platform to share Jesus Christ. And so this week, I hope that our leadership is embodying that we value that. And I'm excited to see you guys out Tuesday night supporting the baptism because there's a lot of uncommon relationships that take place in the nature of baptism. That a lot of them are results of that. And so, anyways, uncommon relationships, that's what we're talking about this week, and that's why it should be important. I love you guys. Thanks for doing what you do and helping. You are the heartbeat of our church. It cannot be Pastor Jason. It cannot be Carly. It cannot be Michelle, Jillian, Graham, whomever. It cannot be anybody on the staff. This is going to be a church led by people that love people, that love people, that love people. Peace.